Okay, got the Audi in. We got several things to do, but it's about 8:30 at night right now. I think it is. Yeah, about 8:30, and I'm kind of whooped. I got that Chevy done, kind of. I went and test drove it, and nothing that I can tell I did, but when you're slowing down from a stop and you get to about 15 miles an hour and slower, it just starts, that left front feels like it shakes. So I don't know if the wheel got torqued on there weird, but going down the road it feels fine. But I'll mess with that tomorrow. We need to replace the third brake light on this. It's setting a light on the dash, but then also whenever you press the brake, here I'll show you, they don't, basically, they all don't light up. It's a bunch of LEDs. Let me show you. There you can see a bunch of them are out. Got the old one out, and it's, from what I can tell you, it's just clips that it slides out. But I mean, that's what the new one looked like, and the old one did too, and it just slides back. It's the wildest thing. I can't tell if it's in. Boy, it seems neat, but it's kind of a horrible design. Yeah, it just slides off real easy. Jeez. That little rubber's coming. Damn it. I already checked, the new LED works a lot better. Okay, some of the little rubber lining on the edges started to come off, so I'm gluing those back on. That way I can try to put that back in place. I'll try to get the camera and show you a little better. But next, there is a part of the PCV system on these. Need to replace this. That is the, I think they call it an oil separator. Basically PCV system, the way I look at it, because it's got a diaphragm in there and everything, and this thing's got oil all over the top of the valve cover, and they're known to cause excess pressure in the crankcase. So we're gonna do that. So yeah. It's late. I don't feel like doing this right now. Okay, day 2 of me being able to work. It is November 23rd. Getting a decently early start. Let's get this Audi done. I'd like to have it done. Then I can get that Chevy back in and try to figure out what's wrong with, why it's shaking. I'll try to show that to you guys too. Okay, it's a little loud now. I turned the heater on. It was like 54 in here, but I was a little chilled, so turn it on. Okay, so I had this glue. This is like a rubber on the edges here. I'm sure it's for noise. That way, if this rattles against the glass, it doesn't make as much noise. But this side was peeling off on me when trying to install, so it's not the greatest look, but some of that white can just rub off. So. Okay, let's get this puppy installed. Okay, hopefully you guys can get a good look. So that channel right there in the middle of the screen is what the headlight, or the third brake light, basically slides on, and then this one here. And this is the connector for it, hanging right there, wherever it is. So it just needs to slide up on those. I don't know why it's so difficult for me. That's on that one. This side doesn't feel like it's going into its channel like the other side. Oh, there it goes. Wow, that is awkward. So right up here is the channel. If you can see there, I'm gonna slide a tool here and try to push on it from the inside. Good Lord. Oh, okay, well, that's my problem there. I was in the wrong spot. Am I not gonna be able to hit on it there? No, I don't. Good Lord. What's the deal here? Okay, I started looking at the old one and the new one. And the new one, if we look down here, crap. These edges are pretty much even. If we go down here, this is the new one here. It's a little bit wider. So I think that this is off where the channel rides in there. So that's why one side's going in and the other side isn't. So I heated like a scraper up, and I took a little bit off the inside so maybe the channel could ride in there. But then I also think there's a channel in there kind of just to the right of that metal spring. And I think that's giving us some problems. The old one has that as well, but it doesn't. That one looks like it's at an angle where this one is straight up and down from what I can tell. So I took parking brake spoon adjuster, and it's roughly the same width as the channel. Heated up with a butane torch and then slid this down in the third brake light where the channel would go, and I kind of melted that little reinforcement that the original has slanted and this one was straight. Hopefully that made sense. Let's see if it fits. Oh, and then this rubber decides to come off. And this one didn't even go on that channel. God, if it's not one thing, it's another. Okay, so we know the third brake light goes in. That was some of our issue. It just wasn't designed right. And it fits evenly. Whew, that was a pain in the butt. And that is the issue. If you hear a lot of people complain about Dorman products, that's the frustration with them. It's the idea behind Dorman is awesome. They see a problem, they come out with a solution, but it's like they try it once and then just run with that, and they don't continue to run testing. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. That is much better than the old one. Okay, next part we're gonna do is this breather, the one I just didn't feel like doing last night. And we need to pull these two coils. You gotta be careful, you don't wanna break these, I believe they're for the variable cam timing. Get a screwdriver and just pry up. I think they saw there was a tool, but you can just pry up on them. Oil separator up top is done. I was not expecting it to come off that easy. Nice. So I got the crankcase vent or oil separator done. We've done the third brake light. I now need to do a caliper and brake hose because this caliper, I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, this rotor's been hot. And this, once you drive this for a long period of time, you can feel it pulls to the left when braking. So brake hoses are so cheap. I think they're 40 bucks. And this, I forgot what this caliper was. I just like to replace them in a pair. That way there's no question, because these rubber brake hoses can collapse and act like check valves, so they can hold pressure. So we'll just do that. I got a set of brake pads to go with that. And then also the inner CV boot is leaking. So quite a bit of work on this side, or parts to replace. I need to make sure my caliper and my axle are correct, and then the hose looks correct, I believe. Yeah, and I think that's right. I'd like to get the axle in before I actually do the caliper. That way I don't have a bunch of stuff leaking. I cleaned up a little bit yesterday after I worked, and now I can't find anything. Okay, just knocked loose. Look at that. I think we can do this. Yeah. I don't think we have to pull any suspension stuff apart. I think it's nasty. I'm going to thread the bolt back in and use it to, yeah. That new axle came with a new bolt too. I'm surprised. Look at that. Maybe we're gonna, okay, yep. I'll give it to their engineers for that. That's pretty impressive. Well, I was using the wrong tool. I thought those were Allen's from the quick look at them, and they're actually the like triple D's or whatever they're called, or square D. It looks like this. Triple D's. That sounds like something else. Damn, it wants 147 foot-pounds and then 180 degrees. I feel like that was not that hard to get off. Was it? Maybe? See if we can do this. It's 40 degrees. 85. We just gotta do 100. 135 degrees. 155. 177. 186. Whew, okay. She's tight. Whew. Well, a good reason why I'm doing the hose, I'm glad I'm doing the hose and the caliper, because this hose does not use a banjo fitting. So if I was just doing the caliper, getting this hose out of the caliper would be a pain. So just replace it together, put it together. I'm gonna take off the caliper and the hose together, put this on, get it up in there. Is that the piece that holds it in place too? Oh, man, that's kind of nifty. Okay, got this, this is like a 95 Chevy 1500. Got it back in the shop because, well, I'm talking to you like I already told you. Several months ago, I did a brake line on this. The brake line on the rear of it, which is very common for any brands that runs down the frame, rotted at the rear of the truck, and so I installed a whole new brake line, bled the brakes, had to put a wheel cylinder on one of the sides because the bleeder broke off, and he got a hold of me, and it is leaking, or it is, the pedal's soft. He didn't see any wet or anything dripping like he did the previous time, which was in the back. But I've already looked at it, and it looked like it was coming from like under the driver's floor pan area. So let's crawl underneath there and take a look. Okay, I tapped into that union there. You're gonna see in the middle of your screen, it runs down. Trying not to get a bunch of brake fluid on me. And I put that one in, that union. And it looks like it's leaking, but why is it leaking? Let me see if I can get a wrench and tighten it up. That one's tight. That one can be snugged. Some more. See if we can see it leaking. Okay, did it leak? No, it did not. I do not see any moisture. Well, there's a little bit there, but is that left over? So is it coming? Or is it on the line? No, maybe it is leaking. It feels, or is that just me? Okay, I'll bleed the system and let you guys know. Okay, got the brakes bled. My wife came down to help me. I would have recorded it, but we were kind of in a hot rush because she'd been working on getting our son down to bed for over 2 hours. And then finally I was able to come in, not saying I'm anything special, but it just seems like it was vice versa. If I'm having trouble, she comes home, she can help. And so anyway, we got him down to bed. And so she came down real quick, helped me bleed the brakes. Brakes feel good. I guess that's what was leaking, but I'm going to drive this truck and check just to make sure we don't have anything else going on. But it's Sunday night now. My wife goes back to work. She works for the next 3 days. And then it's Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and she's off that. So I have quite a bit more days coming, but I feel like I wasn't that productive. I got stuff done, but what? I was thinking that white GMC with the ball joint, that was going to be... I thought that was just going to be easy ball joint, and then found the CV boot ripped, and then I don't know if I told you all this. I'll just recap because in the videos I graze over stuff because it's just how this business is, and working for myself can be frustrating, and people are like, why are you spending so much time running to get parts? It's because I have one stall and I need to get stuff done. And so basically what I'm getting at is that GMC, I got an axle, CV axle for it, put it in. It wasn't spinning once I got everything bolted up. And so basically it was not the right one. And so it was, the CV joints were binding at that angle. So I had to get one that's, I mean, it even says in the catalog for lifted trucks and off-road suspension. Well, I guess that truck must have come with off-road suspension, and it's like $200 more. So I had to run to an O'Reilly's that's about 45 minutes from here. No, actually probably about an hour. And so that's 2 hours out of my just driving just to get the right part, come back, get it in. And so it's I spent a lot of time running, grabbing parts, and making sure things get done, where at other shops you don't ever see that. And whenever I was at the dealership, I didn't go through that because I had a parts department. And so if I needed a part, I let them know, and it would be here that day or the next day, and that's just what it is. And I had extra stalls to work, or I could move one out. I had, it's just, in the part of the shop I worked in, we had many stalls to work on because we were always working on bigger trucks, and so we were given extra room. So if one truck took up a stall and was dead for a day or more, that's okay. I had more room. Whereas in my shop, personally here, I have one stall, so I need to try to get one done and out in a reasonable amount of time. So that GMC took a lot longer to get done, and we're still not completely done because it shakes when braking and coming to a stop. That I'll take you along with that. I'm a little stumped. Then we got that Audi. We got it done. We got the brakes and everything. That one, I had everything other than brake pads. Whenever I checked it out, I, for some reason, thought that the brake pads were in good shape. But when I tore into it, the left side was definitely worn down more than the right side. So, hey, I'm there. Let's just throw a set of brake pads on it with it while we're doing that. Already delivered that. That's a customer that I've always had for many years now, where I would pick their vehicles up and then leave one of my vehicles there, and that way I can just drop the vehicle off and go. And then I was hoping to get in get in a Super Duty to start on ball joints and stuff like that, but this truck I needed to get in, and I don't know if I looked at anything else, but yeah, so I just didn't feel like I got everything done I wanted to. I definitely spent time working, but maybe it wasn't as efficient as I could be. But anyway, I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm a little worn out. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.